Oh my God, we're live. Attack of the Androids. What's up, guys? Alrighty. Get this thing going. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. Okay. Alright, here we go.
For centuries, we've been warned about little green men. Now, they are coming. They're coming for you. Prepare for the attack of the Android.
We are live. It is Thursday, March 5th, 2015. This is Attack of the Androids, episode 150. Welcome again. Joining me tonight, I have Nick Carroll. What's going on, Nick?
Hey, not much. Glad to be back.
Nice to have you on your little Chromebook there, mini podcast machine. Okay, and we also have Shane Brady returning. Welcome back, Shane.
Hey guys, that's the first time I heard the new theme song. Like that.
Oh, you haven't heard that yet?
I usually skip ahead when I listen to my download because I don't like listening to theme songs. But
come on, man, it's catchy. All that hard work for nothing.
It sounds good.
We're one of the few podcasts that actually have a theme song, so it sets us apart a little bit.
That's right. It sets us above the rest, I think. What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to kick this off talking about? Shane, you know, I have something I want to talk about. Shane, you seem to have a love affair with the Galaxy S6, and I think we really need to dig in and explore this because it's disturbing.
Okay. So, the only Samsung phone I ever bought was a Samsung Galaxy S2 on T-Mobile because it was subsidized back when I was in that racket of buying subsidized phones. Ever since then, now I've had a Galaxy Nexus, a Nexus 4, a Moto X, a Nexus 5, a Moto X 2014, and my current driver, which is a OnePlus One. I may have even forgotten a phone in there. And other than the Nexus 5, which consistently, for me, gives me really good photos, every other phone I have gives me bad photos. And I don't know what it is. Like, I took a picture today in bright sunlight with the OnePlus One. It looked good. You guys may have seen it in my Google Plus feed. It was the black and white picture. Google Plus did all the mojo. But that only happens in very good light. So and even though I'm not like a big camera person, I'm finding now, you know, with everything that's going on, there are just times I want to be able to take a picture, and I can't with the OnePlus One. I was trying to take a picture of my Moto X so I could sell it on, can I say Swappa? I'll say Swappa. And I couldn't get the focus all the time on the screen, so it always looked blurry. I'm like, I finally gave up and went over to use my Nexus 5, which snapped it, took a picture, and that's what I've been using. But I've had this issue with both Moto X's, with the OnePlus One. Nexus 4 was okay. The Galaxy Nexus was bad. And the Nexus 5 is good. And I hear mixed things about the Nexus 6. And I'm just frustrated with these phones. And the Nexus 6, if I could ever... First thing, it's never in stock. Okay? Even if I wanted to buy it, I can't ever get it. I will not buy a subsidized phone anymore. So, and Samsung's phones were looking like garbage for so long. They announced this Galaxy S6, and I think everybody looks at it and says this looks good, especially the Galaxy Edge. People seem to like the way that looks. It looks so good that they accuse it of being an iPhone ripoff. That's how good it looks.
And we've never heard that before, so I understand why it would catch your attention. So let me just ask you, why were you even looking at the Nexus 6 if you didn't like the Moto X 2014?
Well, because the Nexus, when I say looking at it, It has gotten better reports than the 2000 the Moto X for camera pictures. Is that
Yeah, it's a Moto X 2014.
Yeah, so it's got better reviews than that. And the Nexus 5 takes really good pictures. I put it up against iPhones and it takes good pictures. It's fast. It focuses really well. So I just assumed they would take the same camera and put it in the Nexus 6. I don't know if that's the case.
No, it's completely different. Like I've got the Nexus 5 as well, and I actually like the camera as well. I've used it for some of my videos on my YouTube channel for either unboxings or some videos where I'm against a wall or using it in motion. So the thing about this, the Nexus 5, it's an 8 megapixel camera and it's got optical image stabilization. The Nexus 6 does as well, but it's like a 13 megapixel camera. It's very similar to the Note 4, I believe, in terms of specifications. But there are some mixed reviews with regard to the camera quality on the Nexus 6, but overall it's pretty good from what I've seen. But it's a better sensor than what's in the Moto X. They're very similar Sony Exmor model camera sensors, but the one in the Nexus 6 is a little bit newer, a little bit higher quality than what the Moto X 2014 has.
So if I want to buy the Nexus 6, I can't find it.
Yeah, the one that you want. But the S6, Samsung traditionally has pretty good cameras on their smartphones.
Right. The Note 4 got really good reviews on the camera, right? Everybody likes the camera on the Note 4. Everybody likes the screen on the Note 4. The Note 4 screen is like the best screen you can buy on a phone today. Yeah,
my wife has the Note 4 and she loves it. And I've seen some of the pictures that she's taken on Facebook. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, and so there are plenty of websites taking side-by-side shots of iPhone, Samsung 6 in low light, and they are not like going through what you normally do, which is take 50 photos and take the 2 best ones. You know, these are relatively good things, and it's a 5.1 inch phone. I love the OnePlus One, but you know maybe, but I would be fine with the 5.1. It's got the huge screen. It looks good. It's got the great camera. It has it goes up to 128 gigs storage. It has special RAM. It has special SD. You know, I mean, it's like DDR4 RAM. It's got super fast SD card. Thing's a beast. I mean, this is like the most powerful phone I think you can buy right now. Okay.
Yeah, I use a Samsung's Exynos processor as well, and they've been improving that line of CPUs for a while.
I bet the faster disk and memory will make a bigger difference. Things will just fly. Yeah. And now they bought Loop Pay, right? Plus they also have fingerprint sensor, which now supposedly works like just press the button. And now they have Loop Pay, which is going to be rebranded as Samsung. By the way, I just want to say, as far as I'm concerned, Loop Pay has been out since 2013. If anybody has the right to the blank pay, it's Samsung who bought Loop Pay, who was there first. But anyway, Loop Pay and the MTS technology allegedly lets you use it on a regular credit card swipe machine. Okay, so you don't need to go to terminals that are NFC. A regular credit card terminal, you put your phone near it, it picks up the phone, and it treats it like a card swipe.
Okay, how does that work? I'm really confused because originally I'm thinking that you swipe your phone, which makes total sense to me. But if you don't have an NFC pay terminal, how's it picking up on the phone?
So it's called MTS technology. It does something with the magnetic fields. It simulates a credit card next to the swiper that picks it up and registers as a card swipe.
Don't you like register each of your card with it somehow?
You register your cards just like any of these other payment systems. It does that one-time only token, so they can't ever get your credit card. And while I've never been liable for all the time my credit cards have been stolen. You know, I've had to redo everything 3 times I think in the last 3 years when some other company loses my credit card information, and the bank says, well, we're just going to issue a new number. And I don't know about you, but I run everything through a credit card, so I don't have to think about it. So I'm thinking, great display, great camera, wireless charging for both standards.
Both standards. That's a first, yeah.
super fast cache, super fast RAM. And then all I have to do is figure out if I can handle TouchWiz, which for all intents and purposes, or what I'm hearing, has been tamped down.
Well, even if you don't want to, I mean, couldn't you just download the Google Now launcher and call it a day?
Right, so the notification panel will look a little differently, some other things a little differently, but here's the thing, all right? I switched between a OnePlus One running KitKat and an Nexus 5 running Lollipop because I use the same launcher, because I live in all the same apps. I barely even noticed the difference. You know, it's not a driving factor that it's not a noticeable factor that I'm a Lollipop and I gotta go back down to KitKat.
Yeah.
Because so many of the apps are being updated.
Yeah, and you're using all that. Yeah.
You're out. We're done. You cannot tell me that you're happy that you went down a level in Android operating system. No, we're done. Bye, Nick. I mean, bye, Shane. It's just Nick.
No, but it's not that I'm happy that I'm on KitKat. It's that so many of the things that I like or that I use work the same on both. Okay, and I don't think enough stuff takes advantage of Lollipop yet. There are a lot of things about I think Lollipop looks better, and I guess I won't if I go down the Samsung 6 route. I won't get the full Lollipop experience. But if all my apps run better, I have secure payment. It's really can I stand TouchWiz, and I think being able to take good pictures more consistently. Because I love taking pictures of the animals outside or animals in the house, and then Google Plus doing its magic and getting this really awesome picture. And I feel I can't do that with the OnePlus One. And I couldn't do it with the Moto X 2014, which I sold. I only can do it with the Nexus 5. And I love the OnePlus One because it's huge. The battery lasts forever, right? I'm actually thinking I'm going to switch my phones, and my daily driver will be my Nexus 5, and my OnePlus One will be my night phone. And I cannot believe that I was this tempted by the Samsung Galaxy S6 with the past performance. But I looked at all the pros and cons, and there's not many cons that get in the way of the things I want to do with the phone. And I feel like all the Samsung cruft that will be on there, I'll be able to remove it, hide it, and if I got a 120 gig phone, I'll never even know it's there. So yeah, I'm kind of coming hard for the Galaxy S6 because I don't want to be morbid, but I want to be able to take more pictures of our animals. They're not always going to be around here, and that picture. If you guys look at my Google Plus feed, you'll see that black and white picture, which I think is people really like the picture. I want to be able to do that more often than I just happened to take the picture at the right angle. The phone was lucky enough to focus properly, and I got the shot. And Samsung cares about cameras. I mean, there's no denying that. So I am really tempted by it, and I know I've been a Nexus fan, but I can't buy I literally cannot buy the Nexus. Like, it's never in stock.
Well, you want the 64 gig version, right? I think 32 gig is more available, but a lot of people really want that 64 gig version. I've got a friend that wants that, and he couldn't get it for like 2-3 months, and he just happened to luckily catch it at a moment we could get that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait around. And I think the camera and the screen are going to be, frankly, there's going to be better on the Galaxy S6. I mean, I've been tempted to get a Note 4, and I don't know if I'm going to get the Edge or the regular version.
Yeah.
Probably get the Edge. But I think I'm going to get the 128 gig Edge.
Ooh.
And that phone, that's going to be a beast. And I'm probably, luckily it seems to be easier and easier to sell things than it was a while before. I've had good luck selling phones recently. So
you're going for the S6 Edge? The S6 Edge is what you want to go for?
I think so. But I mean, I haven't seen the prices yet. I mean, if it's like $200 or $300 more, no. I mean, it have to be reasonable. But the question I have for you, Eric, is: are you as hot for the NVIDIA Shield Nexus or Android TV device as I am for the S6?
Oh God, you just made my heart flutter. I think I am so excited about this device. we totally have to talk about it. It was announced was it at GDC or was it at Mobile World Congress that it was announced?
Well, it's
GDC.
coincided with Okay.
No,
It coincided
go
with-
ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it coincides with Mobile World Congress, but I didn't catch exactly which was it announced from. So, I mean, I know they announced it. What was it? Tuesday?
Yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember. It was announced at a certain time. But anyways, yeah, I'm interested in it as well. Like I've not been interested in the Android TV platform, but this particular
This is beyond Android.
Yeah, this particular iteration of it with all the extra features is pretty attractive. And I don't have a Shield tablet like Eric does, but I'm actually very tempted to get the actual Shield tablet, the 8-inch tablet, as a replacement for my original Nexus 7 tablet, because I still use the tablet here and there, particularly for late night reading, etc. But in addition to that, getting this Android TV iteration with all of NVIDIA's features on it, that's very tempting to me.
Well, let's take a look at it. So I have it screen shared here. So as you can see, this little thin sliver here, that is the NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah, even that looks sexy. That looks good. If you look at the Android TV box, even though it's not really a box, it's a hockey puck, it doesn't really look that interesting. This looks really good.
Yeah, I agree. Though if you read a lot of reviews, they refer to it as ugly, and I'm not sure why.
The NVIDIA?
Yeah, this in itself, like the actual console.
That's code for it, not Apple.
Yeah,
well,
that's true.
I think
have to agree
though it's kind of though this looks like it has that, what do you call it, Alienware type feel.
It looks
yeah.
exactly like you expect an NVIDIA product to look like.
Yeah, or Razer, same deal. It's going to be green and mostly black, semi-neon, and it's going to look like you could kill someone with it, but you're going to want to buy it and watch media on it and play games.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the device. So it's going to have it's going to be able to do 720p, or not 720p. Good God! It'll be able to do 4K video. It has the new Tegra X1 processor, which supposedly can do twice as much as the K1 chip, which is in the tablet. What were you saying, Shane?
Oh, it's a beast. That X1 chip is a beast.
Yeah, it's let's see here. I'm trying to find. I have these specs up. One thing I will say that is kind of irritating is that if you go to the NVIDIA website, I went there and I'm like, you know what? I want to look at the specs of this thing because it looks pretty cool. They make you sit through a video before you can actually do anything. You have to sit through this space age video talking about the gaming frontier. So it's kind of weak. Is that audio coming through?
Your audio is.
Yeah, your audio is. We can't hear anything else.
You don't hear anything else? Okay, good. Yeah, because it's playing right now as I'm trying to go through the specs. One thing though that I was a little disappointed on was that the actual remote, like the TV style remote, is going to be an accessory. You don't get it with the console. You get the video game remote.
That's weird because with it, because with the Android TV, you get the reverse. You get the remote with it by default, and the controller you have to buy extra. So yeah, that is kind of weird. Or you just compromise about. You just realize you're going to buy whatever accessory, and you just buy it anyways, whatever that accessory may be.
I actually don't know what is this. Is Asus? I guess this is for my TV. I don't know what this is even for.
Show it on screen. It looks like is that a Moga Pro or something like that? I can't tell.
No, it's a game controller. I think it's for my Android TV. What did I get? A Nexus player? Is that what these games are?
That's the Nexus player.
Yeah.
I recognized it.
Okay. Which I
sorry
love.
guys, I went to this website to the NVIDIA website, and that audio just completely overtook. I could not hear you. I couldn't hear anything.
I think it was causing some interference on the rest of the audio. So.
Fucking hell. See, yeah, F you, NVIDIA. That's not cool. but we got to where we're going. So Tegra X1 processor, 256-core Maxwell GPU with 3 gigabytes of RAM. Like, this thing looks awesome, and I'm looking at it not even from necessarily the video game side of things, but if I put Plex on here, this thing's going to be able to transcode anything I throw at it.
Yeah.
Yep. But I actually, okay, so I'm actually looking for it for everything. Well, not the online gaming, because I don't have a connection that'll handle it. But I run Linux on my workstation now. I ditched OS 10. I have Steam on here. I often now stream games from my tricked-out gaming PC to my office when I just want to play here and not, bother my wife to the other side of the house. And it runs pretty good, right? I have a i7 4 gigahertz processor, 16 gigs of RAM, or maybe 32, and a 970 NVIDIA video card. Right, so I can play any game. It streams over a gigabit network. I play it on my Linux desktop, which has its own driver issues, so it's not perfect. I imagine streaming games, Dying Light, to this console is going to be awesome. Like, it will be just as good as on my machine. Like, those type of games should play really well.
I didn't catch whether or not there's like an Ethernet port on the back. Do either of you guys know?
Yeah, there's Gigabit Ethernet, HDMI 2. There are 2 USB 3, a micro USB 2, and a micro SD slot. All on the device.
And it's only, to me, the $200 price tag, steal.
Yeah.
Steal. I mean, the Nexus TV is what, $100 plus $50 for the remote.
Yeah, if you take into account that all these companies are, just killing us with the price of these remote controls, like $50 for a gaming remote. Yeah, sure, you can say it's a steal because you take out the price of the remote and it's only $149. I still think it's a little too expensive for most people. They're going to look at it and say, what is this getting me? I could just spend maybe $100 more and get an Xbox One or something like that, or get a Wii U, or
Well, because I've looked at PS4s. I mean, you get in about $350 to $400. I mean, $300 to $400. And if you wanted everything, this is going to be $150 cheaper than the cheapest Xbox or cheapest PS4. Definitely the cheapest Xbox you can get.
Yeah.
So $150, that's significant. But the way it's pricing is if you want something better than an Apple TV / Nexus player, that's at $99. That's going to get you, I don't want to say console quality games because we don't know, right? Yeah. But console quality power for like another $100. And
if you have a good computer already, it will give you that level. Like, it supports, I think they call it like shadow play, or if I remember right. So it supports that. Game Stream, NVIDIA Game Stream.
Yeah, I use Game Stream. That's what I was talking. I stream games from my gaming PC to my workstation, which is running Linux, which has unoptimized drivers.
Oh, I was confused.
Yeah, I play Dying Light, SimCity, all those type of games. When I'm like, I don't want to describe how my house is laid out, but I disturb things less sometimes if I stay in my office late at night. I think this is going to be great for game streaming, and I think maybe this will also be a spot where the games that cost $10 to $15 can go, where you're not going to get those games on the Xbox, right? Those games are going to be more expensive. There's a lot of those indie games. I mean, I know I think the Ouya. Did we talk about this with the Ouya?
The Ouya. Oh.
Yeah, which I still have. I don't think I could swap at that. I just think that this, you don't know if it's going to take off or not, but the thing is, it works really well with Steam, and I think that's going to be pretty cool.
I'm really excited about this, but the excitement doesn't necessarily translate to viability. I think that NVIDIA has created a really, Like one of the other criticisms I did not understand was people were criticizing that there's been so many Shield things come out, but I feel like they're building a brand, and they're building a brand which to me, having used the tablet, is high quality, powerful.
Yeah, that's like complaining about Apple and all those items they want to sell. Big deal. I mean, that's a brand. That's what they're going to do.
What are they going to call it? The NVIDIA? I mean, they're going to call it something, right? The NVIDIA tablet. It's going to be the NVIDIA tablet. Right, but all these things they're not distinct. Honestly, they are distinct products, but they all have a common theme. I can stream games to this thing too, like the portable. I mean, you can stream games from GameStream to it as well. It's hard. I mean, I don't like it because I don't like it's a little small, but the same with the tablet. You hook a controller up to it, put up against the wall, and you can stream your games from your PC to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I look at it in a good way. Like people complain about TouchWiz and all these features they could add it onto these kind of phones, and they kind of detract from it. But in this case, NVIDIA is still giving you essentially stock Android or stock Android TV, and they're throwing all this stuff on it that are just the application, the game streaming technology, etc. Plus, they're giving you features in terms of hardware. So it's not like they're bloating up this, what they're selling you. They're giving you these features still on stock Android.
Yeah, because I don't really. You're muted, Eric. But I'll say they don't care about the Android experience as much as long as they can get or they don't care about the Android UI experience as long as their apps are on there, and that's all they focus on.
Yeah, exactly. But by doing so, they can get Android updates as quickly as anything else. Like the Shield tablet got Lollipop sooner than most other devices out there. So.
Yeah, and because we'd say they spend all their time customizing the Android underlying parts of Android to work with the hardware, to work with the X1, the K1. That's all they care about. And so you do get a very stock experience, and I think it worked. I had the Shield tablet. I wanted to love it, but it had a bug where if it turned off, you couldn't turn it. If the screen went off, you couldn't turn it back on. And I'm so sick of Android tablets. I considered buying iPads. I mean, it's that bad. But I like my Shield Portable for what it is. I got it when it was $99, so it's hard to complain. It does a pretty good job. I really Android TV. Love Android TV. I think they were right to do Chromecast and then do Chromecast on steroids, and now we have Chromecast on steroids, which is just an NVIDIA thing. I think I'm really looking forward to it. And again, if you don't do a lot of game streaming or online games, maybe you wouldn't get as much out of it. But I'm looking forward to just plopping this up on whatever big TV in my house and playing my games on my large screen TVs.
Sort of coming with this, it was announced that NVIDIA announced that they're going to bring Doom 3, BFG edition, I believe, and Crysis to the NVIDIA Shield TV. I don't know that they said it's going to come to the tablet, but it's definitely coming to their their little ecosystem that they've set up.
If it's going to be something streamed through Grid, then it should be playable via tablet. But if you're talking about locally, like if you played locally on the tablet, that on the device, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't remember if I played Doom 3 or not, but it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I did back when it came out. It was okay.
I think this is just another part of the value proposition that NVIDIA brings. They're doing lots of cool partnerships, partnering with Valve, bringing all the Half-Lives. They're doing all the Telltale games. They are staying true to their base, which is which is gaming. It's the gamers, but at the same time, they're making quality devices. Maybe not Shane's. Maybe they're selling Shane the crap, but for everybody else, they have pretty decent devices.
What number tablet are you on?
I'm on number 2. I don't know what happened there. That was odd, but I blame you. I blame you, Shane Brady. The warranty process was smooth as silk.
Shane P. Brady, if you're gonna call me out.
Yes, Shane
Mr. Shane P. Brady, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let's stick with this sort of theme. Mobile World Congress, the HTC Vive was announced. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, I've only seen pictures of it, but go on.
Yeah. What, you think it looks crazy?
I think it looks crazy.
I don't care if it's a great 3D experience.
That's true. And this is a prototype, really, at this point. It's not like you can just walk into Best Buy and buy what they're showing right now. So.
I want to see what this 3D stuff is like. Like, I've messed around a little bit with Google Cardboard, which for $20 is kind of amazing. But I don't, people market, it looks stupid and all that. I don't think it looks stupid. The only thing I question about this VR stuff is how you play a game when you can't see the keyboard or your mouse, and you're kind of like distant. Like, it's going to take some re-engineering of how games work for people to be able to play them. I mean, at least the games I play where, I'm a keyboard and mouse gamer, but I have a bunch of different buttons. Maybe for people who are more console-oriented, it'll be cool. But you can sometimes do the cheesy 3D where the NVIDIA cards will do stereoscopic imaging, and you put these glasses on, and it's like if it's supported in the game, it's like a 3D experience. It'll make you a little sick and give you a headache. These are obviously much more advanced than that, because they don't. I don't care how ugly they are, as long as it works. I will play it in the privacy of my home. It's not something you're gonna go out in public and do, I guess. Maybe on a plane.
I would expect not. You wouldn't be able to see anything. So
maybe on a plane.
Okay, on a plane.
That would be fun to watch as an outsider. Oh, look what they're doing! Yeah.
So to what you talked about, Shane, with like getting sick. This is this project is it's a joint thing between HTC and Valve, and Gabe Newell in his talk at GDC made a pretty bold claim, which is he said 0% of people will get nauseous from using this device.
I don't doubt that. The reason why these things can give you eye strain and all that is because they're often not really 3D. Like when they do the red-blue shift or they do the polarization, it's not. Your eyes are getting both information. What they're doing is they control the entire thing you see with your eyes, and so all they have to do is simulate what you actually how your eyes work in real life. So I mean, if you close your eyes, you can see how the picture shifts, right? If they can simulate that, then your brain will treat. I don't see why it would make you sick, since your eyes are not getting, each individual eye would not be getting like conflicting information in the background. Each eye.
Well, it's not always just that. Like if you look at, so you see here, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. This is a great video, by the way. You should go in the show notes and watch the Fandroid mind-blowing demo video. It's quite hilarious. But if you look down here, these little things, these are sensors. So what they had in the demo room was, my understanding, sort of like when you see motion sensing for like a video game or something, how the actors have these little balls attached to them, which they act as points that the computer can identify when it's doing its simulations. They had something like that on the walls, and one of the big reasons why this is supposed to prevent you from getting sick is because these little sensors are tracking something. There's no disconnect between I move my head to the top right of the screen and there's a bunch of lag. Like, supposedly this can perfectly track your head, which doesn't give you these like sickening feelings of like dizziness or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say there are various. I'm sorry, go on, Shane.
No, you go ahead, Nick.
Okay, I was going to say, there are different things you look at with regard to eliminating motion sickness. You want to make sure that like the refresh rate is high enough, like 90 or 120 frames per second, kind of in that range. You want, the higher the better. You want to make sure that the resolution is high enough to where you're not looking at a bunch of pixels essentially. You need, high pixel density. You need that low latency to where, like, when you move one direction or another, there's not this delay in what you see. And so that's what this tends to address with those sensors, at least to some extent. I don't know about some of the other things like refresh rate or resolution. I haven't looked into that part of it yet.
Yeah. Now, I'm not one of these people who gets motion sick. Like some people, if they feel they're moving or they can't. What is it? If you see you're moving but you don't feel it, or I don't know. I don't get motion sick, so I don't know what it is. But those sensors probably help with that too, so that you're not. Again, which is it? Did you see something move but you don't feel moving? That makes you sick, or do you move and you don't see something move? I don't understand motion.
That may be part of it. That lack of synchronicity between what you're seeing and doing is part of it. That's my understanding, and that's where that delay comes in. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I've never been car sick or air sick or anything like that, so I don't know what it's like. But if you keep all that stuff, but I think in a gaming though, it's like there's no real motion though, right? I mean, your whole body's not moving. How?
Well, think about a first-person shooter. You're moving your head. You're trying to peek around corners, or you're in Skyrim and you're just trying to, like, things you would normally use the mouse for to sort of get a view. You're trying to spot the dragon in the sky. Like, that's where I feel like you're going to get a lot of that disconnect. Like, these are the games that this is made for.
Yeah, some of the games that sort of ablate that issue are like you're in a cockpit or you're in the seat of a car and you look around. That's a little bit better because as you're sitting or whatever, you have essentially the framework that's roughly in place, and you looking around is, I don't know, to me that would be less of an impact than if you're just free running around, so.
But I think at the very least you're going to have, your neck is going to hurt. I mean, look at these things. Sweet Jesus. Like it's got the heads, it's got over the head strap, it's got side straps. Like it looks like an alien has latched onto your face and is
That's the price you have to pay. I'm sorry, no, just kidding.
Right, but if I could actually be running through the streets in dying light with the zombies chasing me, I don't care what the headset looks like.
For the most part, I agree. That looks way more uncomfortable than something like the Avagant Glyph that we've talked about, which they showed off their, pretty close to production version of the Avagant Glyph at Mobile World Congress, and that looks a lot more comfortable than this.
Well, I would say people may have to try different units because I know earbuds are very popular, but I can't find any that fit my ears. It may take a few devices to find something that really fits your head. I mean, if you're like me with a large Irish head, so all these may be a tough squeeze.
Yeah, I understand. This is definitely. What's that?
I didn't mean to insult the Irish.
No, I mean, hey, us Polacks have pretty large heads too, so it's fine. This is definitely going to be the year of these headsets. I'm trying to think if it was the Vive or possibly Morpheus. One of these companies announced that they're going to have, like, they put a stake in the ground. They are going to have their headset available for Christmas 2015. So this is going to be the year where we start seeing a huge push towards this type of technology. I think that it's just going to be, maybe a little bit of what you said, Shane, whatever fits you best. But also, I think a lot of these things are going to die off. It's going to be the competition between Morpheus, between Oculus. It's going to be a crazy year.
Everybody's just treading water, right, until Apple announces their VR headset.
Yep, it's coming right after the car and the TV.
Yeah, they're going to be waiting a while, so might as well get something now. Well, realistically, the three things you can get now. One is cardboard that Shane and a few others have picked up, and you can still buy the Oculus Dev Kit, for example, or Samsung's little Gear VR options. So
I tell you what I'm not impressed with, and everybody else is blown away, and that's HoloLens. Because I have Google Glass, and we talked last time we talked about, okay, the Google Glass is actually really good at augmented reality, but just getting information in. Actually, believe it or not, when you're driving, it's much easier to look up to your directions than it is to constantly look at your wrist when you're driving, because you know what, you actually have your arms on the wheel. Yeah. So I think Google Glass is actually great for that type of stuff. Walking, taking pictures, taking a walking tour, that type of stuff. I like the VR stuff because I want to be totally immersed. Okay, I want to be killing zombies. I want to be in, Dragon Age Inquisition, maybe a baseball game. I want to be in the game, right? I'm not impressed by seeing blocks on my desk. All right, I mean, I know Minecraft. I know I'm too old to be into Minecraft, right? But augmented reality that you can't leave the house, like. So basically, it's not augmented reality. It's an augmented house. Your house augmented, or your apartment augmented. It's not something you can go out in the real world. You're not going to see you're not going to see magical things coming out of the ground as you walk in the park, right? It's meant to be.
Are you telling me I'm not going to be able to capture Pokemon as I'm walking through the park with my HoloLens?
Now without heavy drugs. So to me, and the idea that. You guys are probably too. Eric, you're probably too young to remember this movie called Disclosure, starring. It had this awful scene where he's in a VR system trying to find files, right? And it's like these. It's 1991 graphics. It looks terrible, but the idea that people are going to put on VR helmets to search through files, all right, is ridiculous.
Yeah, three movies that stick out to me that remind me of that is Jurassic Park, the first one, Hackers, and what was the other one? System. Yeah, and The Lawnmower Man. Anyway, sorry. Now I'm depressed.
Yeah. So HoloLens kind of sits in this, to me, in no man's land. Either be very unobtrusive, which is what Google Glass is, just a few notifications flick up, in and out, totally immersive, but not this. Well, we're going to put a hole in your desk, or you can see blocks, or you're going to virtually walk through a filing system so an electrician can walk you through changing an outlet. Okay.
You're crushing my dreams, Shane. You're crushing my dreams.
I say it seems to be in a no man's land that everybody's missing that. I mean, I'm sure the technology. It's amazing that you could actually virtually overlay something in the real world, but. I'm just wondering, outside of a few if it's going to run to the Google Glass problem, whereas it's only useful in verticals.
Yeah, you got to find the number of apps. If you got to build that, let me try to rephrase. You got to build a number of apps that make this thing useful. Just the hardware itself and two demo, games or whatever isn't really going to sell it. So they really need to build up an environment of VR
and apps, games. What game are you going to play on it, other than like
racing games, Mech Warrior games? I don't know.
Yeah, but those games, no. But see, the problem with those games is those need to be in VR. Because you can't be on a Mech Warrior walking through your house, right? That's not interesting.
Or you could maybe play Ingress with it, so augmented reality. So.
Ping pong, maybe. I mean, is it gonna be like the Wii, where you're just playing ping pong and bowling?
I think Shane just needs a more interesting house, personally.
I have a very interesting house, actually. Right? I have it's like a 5,000 square foot ranch. It's like not at all symmetrical.
He's got a moat. He's got his own dungeon. It's great.
Concrete floors, weird plastic, something that looks like beach sand in one room, tile, a gym with lots of interesting surfaces, lots of dogs running around.
My God.
This can go the wrong direction really quickly.
Yeah, but I just think. You live in your house every day, and how interesting can this thing be if you can't take it out of the room?
Yeah.
I
don't know. Maybe it's just not for you, Shane Brady. Maybe it's just not for you.
It could be. I just wanted to run to the Google Glass problem because they run into it's only useful in verticals and it's not a consumer product. Because outside of a few specialized games that you could make with it, again, either totally in the world. Or it's got to be unintrusive. So I think it could be in a no man's land. Yeah, I mean, again, I could be wrong. I can't imagine though that you're gonna see like walking through a filing cabinet system in virtual reality, in the modern world. Like that's no one would do that anymore.
Speaking of niche products, let's talk about the Black Phone. So at Mobile World Congress, Black Phone announced that they are going to be releasing this year the Black Phone 2 and the Black Phone Plus tablet. What do you guys think about the security-focused phone, and do you think that the Black Phone 2 is going to do any better than the Black Phone 1?
I think it has to do better, but I think it is important that they keep iterating. That's something that Sony's tried to do in an accelerated fashion to kind of play catch-up in the smartphone industry, and they're just basically selling yet another Android, smartphone. But, for Black Phone, isn't the company's name Black Phone, or is it something else? I can't remember. SG, maybe?
So I believe that. So it's all from Silent Circle.
Yeah.
I don't know how they have their their company split out, but they go. The product line at least goes by Black Phone.
Yeah, but it's good to see them iterating. The phone they announced last year and were showing off last year was essentially equivalent to a Nexus 4, and the new one I believe is a little more upscale, a little bit larger, quite a bit faster. But the software is really they're going to differentiate themselves, and they have to keep evolving. Particularly when it comes to just a general kind of applications, App Store, etc., or OS, you want to be fairly up to date all the time. But when you're in the security-focused industry, being up to date is more important than anything else. And for them to keep updating their apps as well as the hardware itself, that's something they need to do. So I think it's a good thing.
Here's curious. A picture just for folks, just if you're watching the video, just so you can see. So we have the old phone, and then on the right is the new phone. Yeah, go ahead, Shane.
How does this get around man-in-the-middle attacks? If you're at a company and you're on their network, or you're on the cellular cell phone company's network, how do you get around the fact that it could all be man-in-the-middle?
Yeah, that I don't know specifically how they deal with that. They have a bunch of apps that they deal with. Maybe they have the ability to, by default, not allow open wireless connections, but something beyond that, I don't know.
So I believe, so this is probably if you don't want like Google knowing what you want to, or those companies, but if you're like Edward Snowden, I don't think this is secure enough. I could be wrong. I have to look into it, but. The more and more I learn about man-in-the-middle attacks and what you can do with SSL certificates if you are in between the user and the network, I mean, it's very hard to know if you're secure.
Yeah. Well, I will say that probably the majority of things is probably safer with this, but there's obviously going to be exceptions. Given that there's no perfectly secure device out there if it's on the net.
It's not a network. That's what I said. So I just actually makes me worry more about cell phone connections. Yeah. I'm not a security expert. I don't know, but the more I learn about how, you guys probably talk about it specifically, but Superfish, the example of man-in-the-middle attack. How do you maybe Chrome is good with that? I don't know how that works. So my concern is anything that's on the network is inherently not secure. And if your company wants to peek inside your traffic, that it probably can. But never mind. I guess that's all I have.
Yeah, so these come with I can tell you, and I'll talk a little bit because I've used the original Black Phone, just like personally, just messing around, looking at it for a friend of mine, and when you buy one of these, you're getting subscriptions to the Silent Circle suite. So that's the silent phone, so encrypted phone, encrypted text messaging. And one other thing which is escaping me right now.
Isn't it like a voice or hangout type of like video conferencing thing? Don't they have software for that too? I thought I read somewhere that they had that as well.
It doesn't sound familiar. I don't think I saw that. But it also comes with service to disconnect.me, which is it's a VPN provider. So you have the option, like right when it turns on, it's automatically connecting to a VPN service. All that being said, though, I was really disappointed with the original Black Phone. Like the hardware was terrible. The operating system was. I mean, they're doing a lot of tweaks under the hood, and it made it like really unstable. And outside of that, I mean, you're paying a huge premium, $630. That's for the new one, but probably around that same amount, $699, for a phone that you can't really put any apps on, when you could go out and buy a subscription to Silent Circle and install it on your current phone where you can do other useful things. It just seems like a non-starter to me.
I didn't know. I didn't know you could get the Silent Circle service. Maybe I'll look into that.
Yeah, you can. So you can get Silent Circle service. I think that if you're using everything, if you're using the entire Silent Circle suite, the fact that you get, I want to say, 3 years free with the phone, sort of offsets the cost of the phone. In that aspect, maybe you're only paying $100 for a device. So it's not that bad, but at the same time, it's still a device that is, like, I was seeing things like, you'd be listening to, let's say you're listening to some music, even through the stock app that they give you, and all of a sudden it would just, like, the screen would go blank, the music would stop, and it was dead. Like, you would have to hold down the power button for like 15 seconds and have it reboot. And since it's all encrypted, and it's like, okay, so it boots up. I put in my encryption password. It boots up again. I have to unlock the screen. Like, it's like a 3 or 4 minute ordeal to get yourself out of this, like, hard crash that would happen, probably once every hour.
Oh, jeez. Now, I know we'll circle back to the S6, but the S6 has a fingerprint authenticator. Wouldn't that be more secure with full device encryption than this?
Yeah. Well, it'd be another secure method if you use it, yeah. Like an additional layer of security if you use that, yeah.
Well, I don't see, like, you'd help me understand that. Like, those seem like two different points. So fingerprint authentication versus full disk encryption. That's
more of like authentication. Like, it's harder for someone to spoof your fingerprint, essentially,
Yeah, I'm saying all the work you go into because your device is fully encrypted. You got to enter your encryption password. The only thing from a legal point of view, I think they can make you use your thumb. Well, they can't compel you to give you your password. Or anything like that.
I have heard of that. But I don't know the context.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shane, you wanted to talk wearables. Which story? What are you thinking? The Huawei Nexus, or not? Sorry, the Huawei Watch, or maybe Android Wear support coming to Ingress. What do you think?
Well, does anybody here have an Android Wear device?
No, but I'm highly tempted to get one. I'm envious of everyone that has one.
Moto 360.
Nice.
Steel.
What do you have, Eric?
I have the LG G Watch, and I also have I have the Pebble Steel, which is not Android Wear, but supposedly it's going to be compatible.
So I think that come Monday, one of the ugliest wearables out there is going to be released in the Apple Watch, and that it will probably sell really huge because Apple people will buy Apple things without questions asked. But I have to say, using the Moto 360, which is a more expensive device, I think this is where we see Android Wear. I think this is where we see Apple lose the plot and Android Wear actually stick to what works on the wrist. And so Monday is going to be the point. We're going to look back at this in 5 years and say that's when Apple lost the plot. This Apple Watch, because I don't think the benefits of Android Wear, I think, should be for everybody. I think if you can't, you shouldn't have to start at $500 to get the Android Wear experience. Now, the LG Watch is one of the cheaper ones. I sent it back because it wasn't good in the sun. I put in for the new Pebble Time, that type of wearable. That it's $179, lasts for 7 days. But I think you should almost. I think wearables. Should be considered like an extra battery for your phone, like or a case, like an extra accessory that makes the whole experience better. And I think Android Wear does a really good job with that. Like it's on, they go upscale, they go downscale. Everybody can get one. It works really well. It doesn't have this crazy 70,000 icons on your tiny little screen, and they're very. There's an actual opinion that they give you as to what a wearable should be, and it's mainly notifications and interacting with things that run on your phone in interesting ways. Whereas the Apple, they're like, you can draw little pictures, which are all going to be dog pictures. You could feel somebody's heartbeat. You could send your heart. Like, they don't really know what to do with this, and that's why they have a crazy UI. And Android Wear is very simple. Everybody gets a pretty similar experience. And I frankly think most of the higher end ones, I think the Moto X looks better than the Apple Watch. I'm sorry. It's not as high end. I can't go up to the buddy and say, hey, look, I'm rich, you're not. Ha 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 ha. It doesn't have that power.
You can always buy the LG Watch Urbane. They have, a couple models of that. One of them is Android Wear. That actually looks pretty drop dead sexy. So.
Right. And the Huawei Watch,
yeah.
Those two make the Apple Watch look like.
Yeah.
Apple Watch looks old.
Yeah, the Huawei Watch actually. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the Huawei Watch actually looks like it's smaller. Like you could almost like it would fit on a woman's wrist and not look too much out of place if you get the right band. Anyways, just throwing that out there.
So I'm big on Android Wear. Yeah, that thing looks great. It looks great. I'm big on Android Wear, and I liked it. I have the G Watch. I couldn't see it in sunlight, so I had to get rid of it. I think Google actually nailed the interface first, and Apple is flailing. It's like the roles have really switched.
Well, it seems like Google's been experimenting with this for a while, and it seems like Android's like, okay, we'll go ahead and do it. So that's what it seems like to me, at least. So, could be wrong.
No. First of all, they took everything they've learned from Google now. They took everything they learned from Google Glass, and they created a platform that I don't want to live in a world. I don't like a world where watches are like. What's that trying to say? The Apple Watch is for rich people and for people who are focused on image, which is, to me, a very big departure from what Apple has typically offered in their products. The iPhone was clearly the best phone when it came out. Because of subsidy pricing, it's accessible to almost everybody. The iPad, while not as big a hit as the iPhone, was priced in the range of a computer, and for a lot of people, it can replace a computer. Everybody can use it. They've got cheaper models. The Apple Watch, it's an accessory that costs at least as much as the phone or the iPad, and it's all for looks. It's shallow, and so they're focusing on making it gold. They're focusing on the bands, and Google is focused on, we want to make the experience better for everybody. And what Apple is doing is, we want you to be able to show off that you have an Apple Watch. I think the philosophies are strikingly different here. And Android Wear is honestly what you would expect Apple to do. It really is. I mean, it's that good. Eric, what do you think after using it as much as you have after using it?
It's it's okay. I think that honestly Pebble does the better job at making the watch you want. But Android Wear, like if you're using it to have a watch that does a couple of good things like control your music, go with Pebble. If you're wanting something like you said, more of the Google Glass experience of, I want to be able to see what's going on my phone, I want to get notifications about important things, then that's where Android Wear shines. And as you can see, like this is the Huawei watch, like it has the heart rate sensor built into the bottom too. So even with sensors, Android Wear is just a smarter platform, like smarter as in can do more. The Apple, we talked a little bit about this last week, I think, or maybe the week before. I think you're spot on. The Apple Watch is just trying. It's too complicated. It's not doing a few things well. It seems like it's just sort of the shotgun approach, which typically we would see that with Android.
Yeah, that's what surprised me. Maybe that's why Android. Maybe they learned a lesson too, because Android TV is also very focused on what it should look like. So, I think wearables should be an accessory that go. I think you should go buy a $150 to $200 phone and buy a $100 to $150 watch, and I think that's better than the Apple Edition, which has no purpose. The Watch Edition has no purpose other than tell everybody how much money you have. It's the only purpose it has. And Apple, despite Apple being high priced, they've never been ridiculously priced like this. Like there's no added value. You can't make the case that the Apple Watch is worth $10,000 because of the software. You can only do that because it's fashion. And frankly, I don't think they're that good looking. The bands are great looking. The watch itself looks like a little mini phone strapped to your wrist. I'm sorry.
They're going to have a decent amount of versions out there for different prices, but I do wager that most of them are going to be more expensive than a comparable Android model. Yeah.
And this idea of a sport watch, I mean, you're going to spend like $400 on something you're going to sweat on and run and drop. I mean, you want something. I think these fitness bands, that you want them to be cheap and easily replaceable. I don't think you want to drop $300-$400.
Yeah, if they break or something, that you want to be able to replace.
I could be totally wrong on that, but I look at these fitness trackers and they make so much more sense to me. You could do things with this watch, but I take it off when I do a workout. I don't know about you guys. You can't work out with a watch on. I can't anyway.
In a few weeks, you'll have to come back and either eat your words or.
No, they're going to sell a bunch of them, all right? Because Apple people will buy anything. Here's the thing. Transformers 2 made like $500 million, all right? Great box office performance. Pile of crap as a movie. Terrible movie.
True.
And it made not much money. Sales performance does not equal quality. And, just to wrap it up, this is why I think this is when we see Apple lose the plot, because everyone will focus on the sales and forget that this was all done for shallow reasons, and that was to be a fashion icon. And I don't think that's good for a company when you start worrying about fashion. Plus, I think Johnny Ive is extremely overrated.
Fashion over form and function, maybe.
And he's kind of a dick.
Well, on that note, I've pre-ordered mine. I don't know about you guys. The gold version is on its way. All right, so let's wrap this thing up. Nick, what are you doing this week? What do you got going on?
Well, I've got a new microphone that I just picked up called the Yeti Pro Blackout Edition. I'm going to be unboxing that tomorrow, actually, and I should have a video up either tomorrow night or the next night. I've got a camcorder review that I've been working on that I should have it out hopefully this weekend or maybe sometime in the middle of next week. And I'm still making other videos for my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/user/Ultron2K. I've just reached 200 users on there, and I'm still trying to make my way to 500 users so I can change the name from Ultron2K to something less Marvel supervillain-like. So.
Yeah, check out Nick's YouTube page. Subscribe. He does good videos, and I'm going to be checking out that mic unboxing because I'm very happy with my mic. But as far as travel goes, that looks like a decent one.
Yeah.
How about you, Shane? What's going on?
Well, if you live in New York City, you should check out the app I work on, available for Android and iOS. GroupUpApp.com. Put that in the show notes. It's an app that helps you find other people in the city. And work on it for a long time, and we're one day I'll have to come on and talk to you about the differences between developing on an iOS and developing on Android, and then the frustrations. But we are coming we're slowly and surely getting our voice together for the app, and it's really the Android version is extremely slick, I have to say, and Android Wear compatible out of the box, because it's that easy. I'm also trying to put together this weight loss podcast I'm working on. Weight loss. I have to relaunch it, so keep an eye out. If you go to shanebrady.com, that's where I'll list this stuff. So you can find out how to contact me there and learn more about DDP yoga if you want. That's the thing I do.
We'll group up, fill the void that Tinder has left now that they're charging for important things. That's the main question.
We're not trying to be Tinder.
I'm out.
We can talk. Okay, we're not trying to be Tinder. That's what I'll say. But groupupapp.com is our domain. It's available for Android and iOS. Frequently updated for Android, and it's one of the best looking apps I've seen for Android. So I don't develop the app. I develop the backend though, so I don't want to get the wrong impression.
Cool. Yeah, check it out. Groupupapp.com, the Play Store. As for me, just see what I'm doing on Twitter. I occasionally, I'll write an article here or there, and if I do, I will post it in that location. Well, that's it. We're going to get out of here. Thanks for coming out. If you want to see what we're doing throughout the week, we have the Facebook page, follow us on Twitter. Or just join us live every Thursday at 8. We have a chat room there. We have a chat room on Keynote. That's it.